So I'm your instructor, Moody Black,
That guy right there.
and once again, we're going to talk more about poetry. So let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about stanzas. Let me say it again.
Stanzas. Stanzas.
A stanza in a poem is like a paragraph in an essay, but look really different. Each stanza is usually separated by some blank space. Common stanza lengths are 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8 lines. Now there's different types of stanzas, but we're going to start with 2 and work our way to 8. But there's so many more. But when you write a thought down on a piece of paper, each thought has its own line, its own space. Then you write some more and some more lines. Then you skip a space. If you want to write 3 lines, you skip a space. You want to write 4, skip a space. But each section has its own space. There's couplets, which is a 2-line stanza, a triplet or tercet, which is 3, a quatrain 4, a quintet 5, a sestet, a 6-line stanza, septet 7, and an octave is 8-line stanza. You can have up to as many lines you want, and each section is a stanza, and it has its own space. So once again, stanza is a group of lines in a poem, and is often called a verse. And I should be able to read a poem and tell that it's a poem by its structure with stanzas. I'm going to read Today Is Your Luck by Bruce Lansky. Stanza 1. Today on your birthday, consider your luck. You could have been born a pig, cow, or duck. Stanza 2. You could have been born crying oink, quack, or moo. You're lucky you didn't wind up in the zoo. Now I know this may seem like a silly poem, but as you can tell, the poem is broken up into 2 stanzas. Each stanza has 4 lines. Do you remember what that is called? Quatrain. That's right, quatrain. A quatrain is a stanza consisting of 4 lines. As you can see, there's 2 stanzas, 4 lines in each stanza, giving you 8 lines total. Now you can write a poem with a couplet, which is 2 lines, all the way up to 8 lines per stanza, but you gotta have a space in between each stanza. Another cool way to look at it is like each word is a seat, and each seat forms a row. That's a line. Then another row is another line. Then another row is another line. Then you have a whole section. That's a stanza. Like going to a theater or going to church. There's rows. There's stanzas. There's lines. Isn't that beautiful? There's poems everywhere. Everywhere. Even at a baseball game. There's rows, sections, just like a poem. There's rows and sections. They just happen to be stanzas. I miss going to a baseball game. Take me out to the ball game. Stanzas is like having rows and rows of lines, and each line represent your thought. So each thought is right above each other. So it's like you write a line, write a line, write a line, write a line, and skip a space. So I did 4. 4 is a quatrain, as we just talked about, with the different types of stanzas, with the different types of lines, when you do a line count. But you write those lines and skip a space. So if we do a quatrain, that's 4 lines, we'll write 4 lines, skip a space. We're going to write 4 lines, skip a space. We're going to write 4 lines, skip a space. We're going to write 4 lines, skip a space. You separate it just like sections in a game or bleachers or something like that. You separate it to show thoughts. Nothing like an essay unless you're writing prose, and that's cool too, but we're talking about poetry. Poetry
is how you structure your poem to make sure you can identify that it's a poem. So if you got a journal or in your diary, you want to write a poem or write your thoughts down on paper or on your cell phone, on your iPad, a tablet, whatever you guys using nowadays, please feel free to write down your thoughts. But this time you can structure your thoughts in stanzas. So I hope that this video has been extremely helpful. I hope that you can take these videos and what I'm teaching to add on to your poetic journey, to enhance your writing skills, to be a better poet, a better writer. So please make sure that you subscribe, like, and share this video. Whatever you do, find your groove and make words move.